stay on. Stay away from the AIs. Stay with me. Anyway, I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Tuesdays being my request evening. Thursdays stories that I like to bring to you. Let me just fix that. You could join my Patreon. It's patreon.com/JessRose5472. Or I'm over on the TikTok, which is JessRose5472. It is alive, but I don't start nattering during the story. So I'll just wait for a few guys to join and then we'll begin the story. Or it does go up on my pre-recorded, what would you call it now? My pre-recorded videos, that's right. At the weekend, if you don't want to hear all the yabbering. So that's fine. But yeah, thank you. I'm just going to say hi to a couple of the guys in the live, fix my hair, and I will be ready to go. Hey sis, how you doing? Not talking to you. I feel poorly. I told you earlier, didn't I? I says, I'm sure you passed it down the phone to me. My eyes are killing. My nose is killing. I feel like I want to sneeze every 2 minutes. But I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. We're going to do the live and I'm going to just get through it. So how are you? How are you? How are we? But yeah, I'm blaming you. I'm saying you gave it to me. Because no one else has got a cold. Just you. So I feel like you passed it on. Eyes are killing. Eyes are literally streaming. It's terrible. Hey Phil, how we doing? How are you? How are you this evening? We're not very well over here, Phil. Not showing again. Oh, Warwick, was you first then? Was you before the siren? Is that what you... The short one has told me to say, hey, Auntie Jess. Ah, hey, short one. I hope you're okay. I know, Phil. I'm not happy about it. I'm really not. I was doing great. I was doing good. And she's passed it through the phone. I'm not happy. But I thought, I can't miss again. I can't do it. So we're going to battle through it this evening. But, bar snivelling. Oh, was you second? Oh, no. I don't know what's going on, Warwick. What we do, it's just the powers that be have just got it in for people. Not happy about it. I might move in a little bit. I feel like I'm quite far away. Well, I have the lights. I've changed it a little bit so you can see all the lights running along my ceiling as well. So you can see it. But what are we up to the weekend then, guys? Because we didn't have snow this week like I thought we would. To be fair, though, there's a lot going around at the minute. No, there's not, Phil. Don't try and cover up. See, I'm not fit for purpose this evening. And I keep spitting. Oh, God, this is going to be fun tonight, isn't it? This is going to be great, this is. I was putting my makeup on. And I was like, what is the actual point? Look at it. But, what's going to say? Yeah, don't, what's the word I'm looking for? Don't defend her, Phil. Don't defend her. She's passed it to me and she has to take the blame for it. Because I don't know anyone else who's got it, so she has to take the blame. God, it's warm as well. I feel really hot. The husband is coming to Birmingham to see his family, so I've got a man friend. Ooh, look at you. Oh, well, that's exciting. That's a bit exciting. Is he taking the kids as well? Because that'd be even better. Can you not say what you're giving her or what you're doing? I know, Phil. Tell her. She's got to stop passing her legs on to me. Not happy about the whole thing. What about you, Warwick? Are we drinking the alcohol this weekend? Are we having anything exciting? Phil, we watching any sport? I was about to say the snooker again, but you don't watch snooker. I don't think there's anything else on, is there? I don't think there's anything else on. I'm so grateful he has family. No, I've got... Oh, well, you just send him out or out, don't you? You just like out. You can't send him out, but you can send them out. So I suppose it's not the end of the world. I keep football and also the Ashes. The Ashes would be What would the ashes be? That's not tennis, is it? What would the ashes be? Explain that to me. Don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. I'm assuming it's a sport. Look at these. It's terrible. Dead people, the ashes. Oh! Boom. That's terrible. Cricket. Oh, okay. Wow, I didn't know what that was, Phil, and she's just ruined it. Cricket. Does my mum? No, I think that's the only one of the very few. Yeah, I bet you are. Laugh it up. I bet. I think cricket's one of the few sports my mum doesn't watch. I know she likes tennis, snooker, football. What else does mum watch? She watches them all, doesn't she, really? Anything. But I don't think she watches cricket. Stop it. Laugh it up. You laugh. Good for you. It's not funny. So confused. Oh, dear. Rugby? Yes, she loves a bit of rugby. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Is he not allowing Warwick to comment again? Warwick, what? Oh, there he is. Philip doesn't watch much either. Oh, God. Another. I tell you what. We're going to be on fire, aren't we? I think it's just going to be the four of us again, guys. But that's okay. I don't mind. I don't care. I look like I've got... Do you know what? I think it's my makeup. I look like I've got a scar there and I haven't. So I would know if I had a scar. So it's the makeup. Maybe I'm pissing him off too much. No, he's here. He was there. He was there. I don't think you're getting rid of him that quick, Phil. Wonder if Jessica... We haven't seen Jessica in a while, haven't we? Mind you, I say that. I've been hit and miss, haven't I, lately? I just don't know what to do, guys. I genuinely don't. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to maybe cut it down to one live a week, maybe on a Thursday, and then do a pre-recorded in the week. I don't know whether to keep up the 2 a week. I don't know. Talking of ashes, sorry. Why would you say sorry to Phil with that? Tell me what that means. Got one in, Phil, before you did. You did beat him there, Warwick, actually. You did beat him there. He hasn't said you're about to launch your phone yet. I'd honestly love to watch things do, but however much I try, I find I'm not able to for some reason. Can't quite pinpoint it, Phil. Take the glasses off. Take the sunglasses off. Oh, God. Oh, do you know, I shouldn't get involved in these because I'm just bad. You mentioned Jessica Abdul. Oh, Tiffany. She's so mean. She genuinely is. She's just a meanie. Do you know what? I'm telling her if she comes in. I'm telling her. She's such a meanie, that girl, honestly. But yeah, I don't know what to do. I don't. What did I say? I said I'd leave it till after Christmas, didn't I? I'll leave it till after Christmas. Can't help myself. I'll tell her. Yeah, I bet you probably would, actually. You'd just tell her yourself, wouldn't you? Do you know, I've got a sneeze. There's a sneeze there, and it's making this eye water, and it won't come out. It won't come out. And I think it's just going to get worse. Tiff, have you gone blind? Why have you gone blind? Do you know what? I'm starting the story. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just getting on with the story. Because I don't know how long I've got before the eyes actually start streaming. I'm such a baby. I'm such a child. It's just a cold. It's just a cold. Do you know what it is? I haven't had one in a while. I've had sicknesses, but I haven't had, look, a cold. And I just, yeah. See, Mother said the flu is house. Hold on. Say that again. Mother said the flu is house around bad. House around bad. You haven't meant to roll it that, have you? Because that makes no sense. That makes zero sense. So you're going to have to rewrite that again. I don't know what you were saying. I know Mum says it's going around. Is that what you meant? Going around? No. Going around? Is that what you meant? I feel like that's what you might have meant. But what are you saying? Are you saying no to me? But anyway, I'm going to start because I meant to see. I said that. See, I knew that's what you meant. I don't think Bella's making an appearance this evening. She's over there, but she might do. She might do because she was crawling all over my paperwork earlier. So I've known. Oh God, here it is. It's coming. I like sneezing as well, but it's not. It's not coming out. Now I'm confused. Oh, Phil. She's on about. She's been mean to Jessica, and she's on about a flu going around, and she hasn't written it properly. She's been dopey. I need to get this sneeze, and I love sneezing, and it annoys me when it doesn't come out properly. Right. Anyway, on that note, I'm gonna do my second intro. Anyway. Oh, right. Come on then. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see if I can hold myself. Right. Okay. Oh, awful story, by the way, guys. Don't know if you know this one, but awful story. You know, I like to get my unusual ones. It's probably one of the most current ones I've ever done as well. Because we know I like my older ones. Give up tonight and come back another time. Also, I'm not having you abusing my wife. Phil, she abuses her all the time. All the time. That poor wife of yours gets a lot of stick off Warwick's wife. Anyway, let's go. All right. Oh. I'm going to try and... I can't get that sneeze. I can't get it. All right, let's just go anyway. No, it's not coming. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It's True Crime with Jess Rose. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Tuesdays are my request evening. Thursdays are stories that... Why does she need to go to jail? It's a bit much. Oh, God, see. I wouldn't if she was consistent. Attendance is everything. We're not consistent. We can't say that. The poor girl's probably gone. She's probably like, oh, this isn't consistent. I can't plan my week around this. We're not consistent. Right, anyway. Right, okay. Let's try again. For harassment and abuse of my wife. Got ya. Right, okay. That could be jail. You can't see us. Hush, Jess. I thought they weren't Warwick. I had a feeling they weren't because I was like, why is Warwick not involved in this? It's really naughty, that is. But Tiffany's, don't yours do that? Maybe if you come out and come back in. I don't know, Warwick. I don't know what's going on. This is the second time it's done this to you, though, hasn't it? I knew when he wasn't replying there was something going on. Oh, dear. That's got to be really frustrating, though. Right, anyway, I'm going to go. I'm going to start. And hopefully, your comments start to come through, matey. But, yeah, let's do it. Let's go. All right, I'm going to try to concentrate. Focus. Yeah, there's something, it's very weird and it's very annoying. Do you know what? Part of me doesn't even think it's you guys. I think it's me. I think YouTube actually hates me. So it's blocking all of yous now because I haven't given up. I'm still carrying on. So maybe he thinks he'll get to me through yous to get me off. Who knows? But we're not going anywhere. We're going to be here till the bitter end. Okay. Right. All right. Let's go. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It's True Crime with Jess Rose. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Tuesdays are my request evening. Thursdays are stories that I like to bring to you. I'm also over on the TikTok. It is a human. I am a human, not AI. So please stick around because the AIs are taking everything. So please stay. Don't flick up the chat, flick up the... Ah! I managed to stop myself then. I practiced that as well. Can you see these 2 fingers fit? Oh, God, that was terrible. Right. I was so close as well. I was so close. Okay. Nose has actually started running now. That's marvellous, isn't it? Right, okay. Let's go. Okay. It is actually starting to run. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It's True Crime with Jess Rose. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Tuesdays are my request evening. Thursdays stories that I like to bring to you. Don't cut off. It's not AI. It's a human. Please don't cut off. Don't scroll up. But yes, I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday. If you would like to watch me on the TikTok, it's JessRose5472, or on my Patreon, which is patreon.com/JessRose5472. If you could comment, subscribe, like, all of that would really help me. I'd really appreciate it. But if you just want to watch, I appreciate that just as much. I genuinely do. So thank you so much for joining me. This evening's story is the Horrific Lola Daviet Story. Is awful. It's quite a current one. I don't normally cover them this this early on, but it would seem to have, I hate to say reached conclusion, but I like to await for the trial and everything else, and we have got there. So I'm going to bring the story to you now. Awful. Ugh. Right. Okay. So Lola Daviet, born on the 18th of August 2010 in Bethune, France. Now, it is all in France. I'm going to try my best, but if I mess up the words, please forgive me. Now, Bethune is just over 100 miles from the capital, Paris. Supposed to be a very nice place. That's where she was born. Her parents, Delphine Daviet, and her dad, Johan Daviet, I'm hoping. Older brother, Thibault. I've heard his name pronounced Thibault and Thibault. Okay? And I believe he's older. I think Jordan is younger. I believe. Okay? Now... Not a couple of years later, the family moved to Paris. All right, I've heard that they run a few apartments, or they are just the property managers of this particular apartment where they've moved. Now it's the northeast of Paris that they've moved to. It's supposed to be a very nice, quite affluent part of Paris. I've heard affluent, and then I've heard sort of not too posh. But when I've looked at Google images of it, it looks very, very nice. So I think it is a more affluent part of Paris. Okay, well, especially where they live anyway. All right, quite quiet, everyone seems to know everyone, so nice place that they moved to live. Now, as I mentioned, Johan and, is it Johan or Johan? I think it's Johan and Delphine. They're sort of caretakers and maintenance for the building. Delphine more deals with the, receiving the calls for repairs and stuff like that. And then obviously Johan deals with the more manual side of that. They're a very close family. Very, very close-knit family. Lola herself, beautiful girl. Beautiful little girl. Popular, kind, outgoing, clever, just tick. You know, when you see a child that looks like she's going to do very, very special things in her future, you know, this child just seemed to have everything. She was a huge friend group, just a really sweet young girl. She was especially gifted in gymnastics. She'd won competitions during 2021. She was with between 2021 and 2022, she was with the team. She'd done very, very well in those competitions. Like I mentioned, she does very well at school. Now, her school, so at this point, 2021 should have been 11. We're going into 2022 now. Now, her school was literally, I've seen how the road is set out. Her apartment building, if you can imagine, is here. Her school, as you come out the apartment building, there's the road, and her school's literally across and down a bit. I mean, her school is literally across the road. I shouldn't say literally, it's not literally, but it's, I think someone said like 100 steps away from a building. It really was quite near. And they just, as I mentioned, just a normal family. Very, very close though. Doted on Lola. Her brothers did, her mum and dad did. Like I say, it seemed like she was destined for really great things. All right. So now we're going to come to Friday the 14th of October 2022. Lola turned 12 in the August. And she was back at school after the summer holidays. Everything's going fine as usual. Now, after a normal school day, she'd be expected home. All right, between sort of 3:15 and 3:30. They were the roundabout time she'd be expected home. Now, it was only across the road, but you imagine time to get your stuff together. Look, the school day finished at 3 o'clock. So you imagine it takes her time to get her stuff together, then she might chat to her friends for a little bit, then the walk across the road, and then get through the building and up to her apartment. So by then it'd normally be about 20 past. And you could literally set your watch by this girl, you know, how she would come in. All right. So by 4 p.m, she hadn't come in. And it was so unlike her. It was so unlike this constant, you know, you can imagine if you're setting your clock by your child, and you know when they're due in, and you know, I mean, I don't know where, because they lived in that building, as I mentioned. I don't know which apartment they were in, so I don't know if they were facing the front, but if they were, they could see the school. They would be able to see the school from the apartment window. You know, now if they're at the back, obviously not. But this was getting them very, very worried for her not to be in. They were calling her. She wasn't answering her phone. They were getting quite stressed. So by 4:30, they're frantic now. And they call the French emergency services is 112. Okay? So they call the police. And Johan, for his part, he begins checking the CCTV footage for the building. As I've said, they're the maintenance workers, they're the property managers. They've got access to, obviously, I presume they're the only ones that've got access to the CCTV footage. I would think. So he goes straight away, and what he wants to see is, can he see if she returned to the building? Was she in the courtyard at any point? You know, I think he was grasping at straws at that point. Like, you know, I can imagine feeling very, very helpless in that scenario. You know, your child's not picking up. I think Delphine was phoning her friends. You know, no one has seen her. Everyone, as far as they're aware, she left school for home. So no one knows what's going on. And I just can't imagine feeling more helpless in a scenario. So he starts looking through the CCTV footage of the building, and it shows at 3:20, okay, it shows her returning to the apartment, her normal time. Now, remember, I'd say, you know, what time I'd said she would normally return home. And it was bang on time. And it shows her entering the apartment building, okay? Now, what he notices is not only is his daughter walking through the apartment building door, but there's a woman behind her. young looking woman, youngish looking woman. Not really smiling or anything, looking a bit fidgety with her hands on the footage. But I, I don't know if he got a bad feeling at that point. I don't know. But this is what he saw. All right. So he didn't believe also that he really knew this woman at the time. He couldn't quite pinpoint who she was. Now, if you go online, you can see the woman. You can see the footage of little Lola coming through the apartment building. Some it's blurred out, others you can see her. Okay, so it gets to 6:30 now, and Delphine, she puts a post on Facebook. All right, and the post she puts up has a picture, like a screenshot from the CCTV footage of Lola and this woman. Okay, hoping that maybe she'd seen something and that she'd come forward and tell them, obviously, could she tell them where Lola had gone when they walked through that door together. I think they were just hoping this woman could help. They'd walked in together. Where did Lola go? Because it's like she's just disappeared off the face of the earth. No one really knows what's gone on. It shows, I mean, I can't imagine that feeling. Your daughter's there. You can see her. She's made it home. She just hasn't made it to your apartment, but she's made it to the building. She's come inside the building. It's not even like she's outside. She's actually come inside the building. And she's disappeared. I can't imagine it. So the police arrive. They begin searching the building, okay? Family are absolutely losing their minds, okay? And they start, like I mentioned, they've been calling her friends. Her friends are looking. The family have gone around. Her brothers are out looking. The neighbourhood's a bit, as I mentioned, I'd put it as quite an affluent part of Paris. But it's only through one thing that I'd read that it says that it was, what did it call it? I can't remember what it called it, but I'm gonna go with, it looks a really nice place to live and really close knit. That's what it looks like to me. Okay, so everyone's looking. No one can believe this. I don't know if they were thinking, she's gonna turn up. It's quite obviously she hasn't run away or anything. So there is a concern. It gets to 11:30 p.m. Oh, I'll be losing my mind. But a call comes in to the local police station, all right? And this call comes in from a homeless guy, just a homeless man living around these. Again, I don't know if he lived around that area or he just happened to come down this particular road. Anyway, he told the police that he was walking the local area and he'd ended up in the courtyard of this apartment building. Now, when it says courtyard, it's quite a big area. So he ends up there and he notices, I'll call it a suitcase. I've heard it called a trunk. I think it's more of we'd more call it a suitcase, okay? And he notices it just there. Apparently he had like a white blanket over it. And he's a bit confused and he's looking around. Don't forget it's 11:30 p.m. at night, very quiet, right? And he's looking around to see if there's an owner, and there's not. So he kind of skulks over to it and he's looking around it. He says when he lifted the blanket up, that was draped over this suitcase, he could smell like bleach, smell like cleaning products from it. So, of course, he's curious and he opens it. He opens the suitcase, and as he opens it, there's some clothes on the top of this suitcase, after he's opened it, and he has a little root round in there and he jumps back because as he's rooting through, he sees blonde hair. Okay, so he then builds himself up again. He goes back to the suitcase and he moves a few more of the items of clothing around, and he looks a bit more, and he realises was the body of a naked, beaten young girl, deceased. Okay, so the police arrive. As mentioned, it was him that called the police. Police arrive and they take the suitcase with the body in it, and they ID, that this young girl that was found in the body, and it was Lola Daviet, aged 12 years and 2 months. Baby, okay? I just, imagine, I just can't, I can't, my brain doesn't allow myself to go there. It's just awful, it's horrific. So an autopsy's done quite quickly. Now obviously they've advised Delphine and Johan and the boys, and they're devastated. They don't know what's gone on. Who would have done this? So an autopsy's done, and the cause of death is asphyxiation. Okay, and what it is, little Lola, she had duct tape practically all round her head, mouth, nose, covering her head. Okay, they believe this would have caused her to suffocate. All right. She also had a compressed spine, so they're not sure if that had caused the suffocation, or it had been she'd been forced down. They're not too sure, but they noticed that I can never pronounce this properly, and I'm ever sorry. Posthumously, after death, okay, there's just stab wounds all over this little girl's body, and to her neck that almost decapitated her. Now, I have read that it did decapitate her, okay, but I've seen more reports that it nearly did. Okay, so I need to make sure those facts are correct. It's really hard because the newspaper footage of what's gone on, I'm not gonna lie, there's kind of different stories in each one, with certain facts of the information, facts of the of what had happened. And so I'm gonna give you everything. I found I had to do this the other day as well, and I hate having to do that. I like to bring everything, correctly, but I've heard both, and it's just, either way, it's just utterly horrific. Now, what did baffle the pathologist and the police when they heard was that little Lola, on the bottoms of her feet, on the one foot she had a number 1, and on the other foot she had a 0. So together it'd be 10, or would it be 1 and 0? The meaning behind that, unfortunately, I can tell you now, we don't know. We don't know the meaning behind that. And it's beyond frustrating. It is. So there's so many guesses. And I'm not going to be a person who's going to put any of them guesses to you. If you can think why on earth that would be on this child, this child's feet, I'd put it in the comments. But I genuinely, I'm not putting anything forward, because I don't know. I don't know what that's about at all. It was in red pen, and like I say, it was at the bottom of her feet. Now, duct tape and a box cutter was found in the apartment basement by police. All right, and the police then, they begin searching all the local CCTV footage, looking for the lady, okay, because that lady still hasn't come forward, who walked into the building with Lola. It wasn't even, it was like behind her or a couple of seconds after. It was literally with her. And she hasn't come forward, so they're looking for CCTV footage from around the area, as I mentioned, just trying to piece this together. Now, the suitcase also had the building's address on it. So that suitcase had come from that building. Okay. So they eventually see footage of what looks like to be the same woman. All right. And this footage is around 5:30 p.m. Okay. On that Friday afternoon. All right. And it looks like she's pulling that same suitcase. And it looks like she's struggling, but she's pulling that suitcase around the city. This same woman, same clothes, same hair, exact same appearance, and she's got that suitcase. So they know they need to find this woman. All right. So upon viewing the CCTV again, Delphine, she remembers that she vaguely does recognise this woman. Now, when I say she looked at it again, I don't know if it was just Johan that looked at the footage initially. And maybe if Delphine did look at it, she was just looking at Lola and maybe relieved that she's seen her coming in the building. So she goes back and she looks again, she looks at the woman. And she vaguely recognises her and she knows that her sister, this woman's sister, lives in that building. She's got an apartment in that building. Okay? So, the woman's name, not the sister whose apartment it is, but this woman, turns out her name is Daviet Story. Okay? And she's 24. Okay? Now, Daviet, well, she was from Algiers in Algeria. Okay? Pretty woman on social media. Looks different in real life, I'll say that. But she's got a huge social media presence. When I say huge, I don't mean as in the amount of followers she's got. She's just always posting. Very, would you say thirst trappy? But very singing at the camera, you know, constantly. A lot of makeup on, hair perfectly done. And she looks fairly attractive in these posts that she puts up. Like I say, very different how she looks. You know, I think I can't bring myself to say anything good about this woman, you say. So in real life, let's just say she doesn't look like she does on her social media. All right. Now, she arrived in France in 2016. Some have said it was with her sister, and they went to live with their mum, who was already living in France. Okay. The mum ended up passing away. They had to leave the property. The sister finds this apartment where Lola's family live. And Daviet, for the most part, she seemed the type of woman that if anyone kind of felt for her, they didn't feel for her for very long. Quite manipulative, lied a lot. Not a good person. Not a nice person. And her own sister said that. Okay, but her sister, that apartment that her sister was down as living in, her sister actually used to sublet that apartment. But at this particular point in time, the sister was stopping there and she'd allowed Daviet to stay there again. Not for long. I don't think these two sisters can live together for too long, but she'd allowed her to stay with her. All right. Now, she was known as being a bit of the black sheep of the family, as I've mentioned. Now, when she'd come to France in 2016 on a student visa, of course that visa expired. And of course, her or her sister didn't leave. They stayed. Okay. Now, in August of 2022, Daviet was detained at Orly Airport. Now, apparently she was in the airport. She was walking around. Her sister did say she believed she had some mental health issues. Other people said she did have issues with drugs. So she's walking around this airport, and you know, if you work it out, that's in August, you know, just 2 months before Lola went missing. All right. And she's seen just walking aimlessly around the airport. And when she was approached, not only did she not have a plane ticket to go anywhere, she didn't have any ID. She had no papers. So then what the French authorities did, they gave her something that was called an obligation to leave, which is a piece of paper that says, you're naughty, you have to leave in 30 days. Okay? And apparently because she didn't have any, any charges against her or any, she'd never been in trouble, they were happy to do that. And it was like, you know, make sure you leave in 30 days. You've been here for 6 years, but enough's enough now, you have to leave. I mean, I can't. I'm not getting on any soapbox, all right? So Saturday the 15th of October 2022, it's the next day, and Daviet was picked up by the police, all right? And when she's brought in for questioning, apparently she wasn't shocked. She wasn't like demanding, why am I here type deal. But she sits down, and when she's questioned, first she says it was a man had killed Lola with a gun. That's what she says at first. Now, I'm going to annoy you, and I'm going to frustrate you, but I can't imagine how frustrated the police and Lola's family were by this woman, okay? Because the amount of nonsense this woman would put out and then take back, you'd lose your mind, all right? So she was coming up with lots of crazy things, excuses, like I say, a man had done it, and then she says, I don't know, I've got nothing to do with it. And eventually, she says she met Lola on the way into the building, which is the footage that we've seen, okay? She didn't say how she'd managed to lure Lola to the apartment, okay? Some have said that, you know, maybe she'd said to Lola she had something for her, and then when they'd got there, Lola might have got a little bit antsy, and then she forced her into the apartment, but we'll never know, unfortunately. But she gets Lola to the apartment. Now, the sister that I'd mentioned she was stopping with, the sister wasn't there. Let me just say, the sister was not there. There was no one in the apartment. So when Daviet gets Lola into the apartment, however she'd managed to do it, she insists that Lola take a shower. Again, how do you convince a 12-year-old child that doesn't know you to get into the shower? But this is what she says happens. And then, and she rapes Lola. Now, the details of which are apparently very brutal, and I haven't seen. And to be honest, I don't mind not knowing. Okay, I don't mind. But the one aspect of it is she did force her to perform oral sex on her. This poor girl. And she had played loud music, she said, to drown out little Lola's cries. She then wrapped duct tape around her head and her mouth and her nose. Little Lola, she was alive when she did that. And she says, and then she realised that she suffocated. Okay? So why then did you begin to stab her? And she can't really answer that. But she does say, she just says, then I began stabbing her with a knife and a box cutter, and then slice her neck. to the point of decapitation. I mean, the police were like, this shows such anger and such rage. Like, and then they've got this woman in front of them who's saying it like she's talking about the weather. Oh, just awful. But once she'd finished this statement and this, what the police were like, her confession, she retracts it. She takes it back. Says, no, do you know what it was? I dreamt and that's what had happened. Didn't really. But that's what I dreamt. So it didn't actually happen, what I've said. Oh, it just drive you crazy. Then she tried to, then she said it was a ghost. A ghost killed Lola. I don't know if she's for mental health, insanity plea. I don't know if that's the route she was attempting with these statements. Apparently these interviews were over a 3-day period. It mounted up to about 6 different interviews where it was just a constant telling them something and pulling it back. Oh, how they kept their hands off her. And they were getting very, very frustrated. They even went to the point of showing her little Lola's body. Okay? And do you know what she said? She says, that leaves me indifferent. I was raped too. And I saw my parents die in front of me. Now, we know her parents died in front of her. Well, her mum at least. We know that was a lie. So, what are you talking about? And this is your reaction to what I can only imagine is a horrific photo they've put in front of her. And that was her reaction. She then claimed, okay, so now we're going to come to a point where up until I got to very near the end of researching this, all right, I had a motive, all right. Everything I read was this particular motive. Now, then I came across something that said possibly it's not the motive, but I'm gonna let you know it, and then I'll tell you why it's mentioned that it might not be the motive, okay? So, she then claims that she thought Lola was Delphine. So Daviet says she thought it was Lola's mum and not Lola she was killing. Now, apparently they did look alike, but she's 12. What are you talking about? And the reason this becomes part of a motive is she claims that a few weeks previous, because it's her sister's apartment, she kept on having to ask people to let her in the building or wait until her sister was home. She was having to hang about the streets because she couldn't get into the building. So she said a few weeks previous, she'd actually approached Delphine and asked if she could have a pass, like a key card to get into the building. And she says that Delphine had dismissed her and said, no, you can't, safety, and you're not down as a tenant, I can't give you a key card. And apparently this had irritated her. She was incandescent with rage. She couldn't get past it, basically. All right. This now looks like it becomes a motive for what has happened to Lola. And this is the route the police go with it. As petty and as sickening as that can be mentioned as a motive, at least it sort of gives them something. Because up until now, they're like, why? Why have you done this to this little girl? Why? So it kind of gives them a bit more of a look into where this possibly could have come from. So, police have enough to charge her with murder of a minor under 15, sexual harm with torture, and acts of barbarism. All right. So then we get to the 17th of October 2025. All right. Takes 3 years. Takes 3 years to bring her to trial. Okay. And I believe in between that time, there was a lot of doctors, her defence were, you know, trying to get her diagnosed. I presume they were trying to go the insanity route. That's what I'm thinking. But eventually it was found she was more than competent enough to take the stand. The doctors said she was very manipulative and she did have psychopathic traits, but otherwise she was sane. She was sane. So that, I mean, the defence must have been like, oh my God, we're gonna have to go forward with this. But during the trial, they have witnesses to come forward, okay? And these witnesses that come forward saw her on that Friday afternoon with the suitcase. And when I say they saw her, she went to a cafe that Friday afternoon. Apparently, she'd tortured little Lola for about an hour and a half, which would bring us up to about 5 o'clock. Okay. And then she was seen around 5:30 around the area, and she went into a cafe, ordered herself a coffee, she did, and left the suitcase outside. Then she was going up to people. No one would help her because she was asking for help to pull this suitcase. I don't know if she was trying to get other people involved, but no one would help her because, not because they didn't want to help a woman with a suitcase, or not because they believed there was anything dodgy in this suitcase, but she was so dodgy. She seemed so weird. So everyone was like, no, okay, we're good. Eventually she calls a friend, a male friend, okay, to come and pick her up. She says, I'll pay you. Can you come and pick me up? And this friend takes her out of Paris with the suitcase. Now, he doesn't know that what's in the suitcase. Just the way I'm talking about this suitcase, and you have to keep reminding yourself there's a 12-year-old little girl that's been murdered that afternoon, just leaving school, in that suitcase. But he takes her out of the city. I've heard some reports say that he takes her out, but then she has to come back, and he brings her back to the city. I've heard another report that says they were close friends, and he actually brought her to his house, and then she called a taxi from there to bring her back. But whatever it was, she comes back to the same courtyard, the same building, and that's where she leaves the suitcase. It sounds like she's crazy, but all the professionals say she's not. So was this a whole big intricate thing to try and lay out the insanity play? I just don't know. Now, at the end of the trial, she does say, this is Daviet's words, I asked for forgiveness, and what I did was horrible. I asked for forgiveness. Horrible. Horrible. Is that an adjective? Well, whatever it is that's what you come up with. I mean, Lola's mom and her brother, were in that courtroom. And that's what you come up with. I mean, no. The sentencing, my goodness. The jury, jumping the gun there, the jury go away. It doesn't take them long. They come back find her guilty. Okay? But then on the 24th of October 2025 is the sentencing. Now, a whole life tariff was only brought in to France in 1994, which I don't understand that. I don't understand why there wasn't always that option for judges and able people to get a whole life tariff. But that was when it got brought in. And so far, up until 2025, there was only 4 people that had ever been given a whole life tariff. And they were 4 men. Okay? Well, first woman in history, French history, sorry, is Daviet. And she was given a whole life tariff. Okay? This is what the prosecution had gone for, and this is what the judge gave. Okay? He just said this was true torture. I mean, I think it just... I just think it blew everyone's breath. I don't know if it as well, what added to was the fact that it was a woman that had done this. You know, this poor child, it's not like she was abducted, you know, on her way to school or outside the school. She was abducted as she was home. She was home. She was in the building. It just devastated everyone. You know, just awful. So, Thibault, I like I say, Thibault, that this is her brother, all right? He said afterwards when they came outside, we have restored the memory of my sister. We have restored the truth. Yeah. And Delphine, it was just quite quick. We believed in justice and we got it. You know, that was the comments outside the court. Now, well, I do need to tell you, because you might be wondering, well, okay, that was the mom, that was the brother, where's the dad? All right, well, let me tell you about Johan, okay? He never actually lived to see Lola get justice. Because after her death, he began drinking really, really heavily. Now, he'd had apparently a drinking problem, okay, years previous, but he'd quit. He wasn't, he off the wagon. He's on the wagon. He was on the wagon, I think. Oh, God. But he'd quit drinking, all right? Well, he just, as you can imagine, it just blew his brain, okay? And he began drinking very, very, very heavily, okay? And it led to a breakdown. Now, I've heard of their marriage. I'm not saying they broke up. I'm just saying it had a real, real bad effect on their marriage. Don't forget, they've still got these 2 sons, you know, Lola's brothers to raise. He lost his job, which in turn caused them to lose their home. And then he died of a heart attack in February of 2024. He was only 49 years old. When it says a heart attack, I just think it was heartbreak. He died of heartbreak. I just think this woman, what she did to Lola was disgrace. There's not enough words, but it wasn't just. It just had the ripple effect was throughout her whole family. She destroyed all of them. Oh, just awful. Now, Lola's school, they had set up a vigil. Okay, the neighbourhood were obviously devastated when this had happened. Now, after her trial, okay, her sister had been called to be a witness, but after the trial, her sister was deported back to Algeria, okay, because don't forget, neither one of them should have still been there. And this caused a huge problem when this had happened, okay? Because the leader of the Conservative Party, which I believe is Marine Le Pen, okay? There's been a few names I've seen Jordan Bardella, but basically it's the Conservative side, classed as far right side even, came out in uproar against immigration. They'd been fighting against immigration for years, okay? And in France, much like a lot of the countries in Europe, you know, there's issues around immigration, all right? And it just caused, it was really, really bad. But I can understand Delphine's reaction, Lola's mum, to this. I can. Because there was a silent protest that had been organised in Lola's name, okay? But Delphine and Johan at the time, said not to use their child's torture and murder to score political points. And I get it. I get that. I do. I get it. Whether it was straight after or whether it was after the trial, not at any point. You can't use this tragedy to, I mean, it was proven it wasn't a racial murder. It was just a sick bitch that did this. And for the government, and the people in power to try and use this to score political points against each other. I agree. I agree why she, asked for this silent protest not to go ahead. I get that. I do. I understand. But then we also have one last thing I want to bring to you. The motive. Okay, the motive that I'd mentioned to you about Delphine apparently not allowing Daviet to have a key card to get in the building, and that's why Daviet had this hatred for her, and when she'd seen Lola, she believed it was Delphine, and she was out for revenge. I've seen it a lot. I've seen that motive a lot. Okay, I've seen one report that says that it wasn't a motive because it was a lie. And Johan says it had never happened. She'd never come to Delphine or him to ask for a key card. They'd never told her no because it didn't happen. It was a lie. And I don't know, when you think you know a motive, I suppose you can put, as much as you can't understand it, because the majority of people aren't like that. You need to be able to make some sense of these crimes sometimes. And I suppose when we believe there's a motive, and as pitiful, and I'd be sitting here now going, how can she have, possibly thought that was an excuse and a reason and revenge was the way to go. That would have been bad. But then when I've come across something that says that her dad said no, that didn't actually happen, then I'm back to, why did she do it? So, like I say, I've only seen one report, maybe two, that says that this so-called motive was a lie. Everything else, a lot of other reports that I've seen do still put this as the motive. So I'll put both of them to you. Either way, none of it explains, none of it excuses, none of it gives any sort of, I don't know what words to use, but none of it gives anything to it. I just think, like I say, sometimes you need that to hold on to, because you know there's evil in the world. But to know that a person could do this with nothing, with no reason, zero, it just makes it that little bit kind of and with regards to the 1 and the 0 on her little feet, we don't know. She's never said. Debbie has never said why she did that. So we don't know what the meaning is behind that. So I just, I've heard some people say it was jealousy of this little girl, jealousy of the family, then the key card motive, and then it was just a what would you call it, just an unlucky, had she come back a minute later or a minute before, she wouldn't have crossed paths with her. But would she, or was she waiting? Was she waiting for Lola? Lola had a very rigid routine of going to school and coming back at a particular time. So it wouldn't have been hard to have been able to intercept her coming back, because she'd have had a fair idea of the time she was coming home. So I'm left with a lot of questions on this case, which is very sad considering the trial's now over. I mean, I don't know if Darby in time. I mean, she's 27 now. I don't know if in years to come, she's got a whole life to think about it, if she'll ever come out and give a reason or anything. But to be honest, the fact of the amount of lies that she's told, and her sister said she's just a liar. She's a pathological liar. Would you ever be able to believe anything she has to say anyway? So I just don't know. I just thought it was frightening, very, very sad. A parent's worst nightmare. Especially with your child going to school there. You can see on the map, you can see the building, you can see the school. And I just, and the fact that it's not even like I say, she was abducted on the way. She got back to the building. She got in the building. Yeah, I just thought it's awful story. And that was the Horrific Lola Daviet Story. Thank you so much for joining me. I genuinely do appreciate it. As I mentioned, I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. If you'd like to join me, or if you'd like to pop a like in or a subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. But other than that, just thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Take care. Thank you. How are we doing, guys? Did I see Kelly and Jessica come in? You see this? How come it's only when I complain it's seen? What's going on, guys? Even if it did happen, that's no excuse for having murder in this little girl. That had nothing to do with it. No, exactly. Well, that's nice if I know. What's going on, guys? I'm sure I saw Kelly. I'm just looking, but I'm sure did I not? And did I see that Mum had come in too? Yes, did I see Mum? Oh, thank you, sis. I'm getting kicked out all the way through. Oh no, really? What is going on? And is Warwick's comments still being blocked? What is that? I don't know what's going on, guys. I genuinely don't. Hey, Kelly, how you doing? And how are you, Jessica? Oh, I thought out the corner of my eye, I thought I saw the name Sharon. I thought I did. I don't know. Don't forget, I'm only seeing it out the corner of my eye. I know sometimes I misread while I'm reading. Oh, that's a shame. It's really naughty. How about Kelly? Didn't I see something a bit higher up? Hold on. I'm sure I seen something when you come in, but I couldn't read it properly. So I'm not. Was that I with hubby at the back of her car? Oh my God! But he's lucky, no broken bones and no internal bleeding, but he's still. Oh, that's awful, Kelly. Oh, sorry about that, Kelly. That's awful. Oh, so you're gonna be nurse Kelly for the next however long. He'll probably make it last a lot longer than it needs to. But no, I'm sorry to hear about that, Kelly. That's awful. How did a car fall on top of... Is he a mechanic then? Wants to pull my face off all the way through, getting constantly kicked. Yeah, I bet. Oh, that's frustrating. So there's you, worry. Phil, have your comments been all right? And Kelly and Jessica? Is it just Tiffany and Warwick? Or is it all of you? Because I don't know what's going... I'm doing good. I had my first appointment on the pass. We'll have my next one in 4 days. Oh, hold on. Let me read that again. 2 of the appointments on the 3rd and 9th of November. Oh, Jessica, I hope you get on okay. Just keep us updated. I see my comments. Your comments seem to be okay. I know Phil can't see his comments. Don't ever. So your comments are okay, Jessica. Kelly's have come through. So it's just Phil and Tiffany then. Oh, that's... Phil must be losing his mind. Warwick must be losing his mind. That's really frustrating, that is. I don't know what... Seems to have it out for Warwick and it's got it out for Tiffany as well. And me. Are you positive, Jessica? Don't have any problems with my comments so far. Oh, have mine stopped coming through? No, yours are there, Phil. No, sorry. I said your name instead of Warwick, Phil. Sorry. No, yours are there. Yours are fine, Phil. Warwick's just come through. Are you positive, Jessica? What did Jessica say? Don't have any problems with my comments so far. Do you know, it's just, I feel, and it looks like Tiffany's gone again. Yes, I'm positive, Warwick. Oh, there she is. I just screamed at the crotch goblin because I was so frustrated. Oh, Tiffany, you're not well either. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on, guys. I genuinely don't, because that'd do my head in. That would drive me crazy. So I don't even know what to say. Warwick is just deliberately being difficult. So you just want attention. You just want attention. Like, look at me, I can't write. No, it drive me crazy, that would. And Tiffany. So, but look, I'm dead centre with my stuff. You missed the judge, Jessica. I think I did. Oh, from the tests. Or have I just made that up? It's not your fault, it's your job. It does, okay, it does. Should have said that. But it does. It does. It's a nightmare. It really is. But on that, my nose is hurting. My eyes are about to start streaming again. I've got to admit, as I was doing the story, I was like, please don't, please don't, please don't. Because I knew if I started sneezing, it'd be all over. But, yeah. And Tiffany, no, inside voices. Sorry. I know. I did. It's true. I'm not fanning around YouTube anymore. I'm just not. I'm over it. I think it's my hormones that are acting up and I might do good. Yeah, just keep on it, Jessica. Just keep on it because, mind you, what was going to say, mind you. Mind you, your appointments are quicker than ours here, aren't they? So hopefully they'll get to the bottom of whatever's going on quite quickly. Whereas poor Kelly's husband, I reckon, was he waiting a few hours in A&E, Kelly? Because I could imagine that. We have a long wait when we go to A&E, Jessica. You know our social healthcare. Yeah. This is riveting, but I'm off. Bugger off. Go on then. Go on then. I'm going to go to because I could just feel pants. So hopefully 6 hours. For God's sake. In the state he was in as well. It's frightening, and it absolutely frightening. I'm just glad I don't live in the UK then. Jessica, you don't know the half of it. You don't know the half of it. I do have to laugh when I hear about people going, yeah, in the UK they've got so. Well, do you know what? We have. All right, we have. It's got positives and negatives. I do, but yeah, if you're ill, you're not being seen for. You bring your pillow and bring your quilt, and you'll be away. Right, guys. Yeah. Look, you're all going before I've even done my jingle, guys. Give me a chance. I've hardly spoken. Anyway, right then. Okay. Like, comment, subscribe, Phil. Okay, so thank you to the Siren, our moderator extraordinaire, and to Warwick and Phil and Kelly and Jessica. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Tiffany and Warwick, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. But Kelly, I hope your husband feels better. Jessica, I hope you start to get back on track and get the results that you need. And Phil, enjoy the Ashes. Enjoy, have fun. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Look, comment and subscribe, guys. Look, comment and subscribe. Would really appreciate it. Look, comment and subscribe. That was angry. Anyway, I'm dead waiting for you. I've just done it. I've just done my drink. I thought you gone. But have a lovely weekend, everyone. And like I say, I hope everyone feels great and feels better. I'm not running through it all again. So thank you all so much. And I will, Tiffany will kill me if I run through it all again. And look, that's all gone. And I'll see you all on Tuesday. Hopefully, if I'm not, I'm sorry, I'm going. Hopefully, if this doesn't come through. But thanks, Jessica, and I will see you all. Bye. I can't seem to go. I'm going. Love yous. See you all.